Hello friends! If you've ever watched your beautiful flower garden turn into a scorched steppe in the middle of summer, then this video is created just for you. We'll talk about 5 plants that not only survive the most extreme conditions but also bloom, becoming even more beautiful. These are plants that work for you, not the other way around. Let's start with why you should pay attention to drought-tolerant flowers at all. First, if you live in a region with hot summers and unpredictable rainfall, plants that require constant watering will simply exhaust you physically. Imagine going on vacation in mid-July while your flower beds need watering every other day. Drought-tolerant flowers solve this problem. They have special adaptations, thick leaves, waxy coating, deep roots, that help them save water and thrive even with minimal care. Second, these plants are economical. The less you water, the lower your water bill, and this is important, especially in dry years when some regions impose water consumption restrictions. Third, and this is very important for ecology, drought-tolerant plants help soil restoration, require fewer fertilizers and pesticides because they're simply stronger and more resilient. And finally, don't forget about beauty. These flowers don't look like some dull gray plants. They're bright, diverse, attract butterflies and bees, and can completely transform your garden. Many of them bloom from midsummer until the first frosts, meaning long flowering periods while other garden plants are fading. In this video, we'll look at 5 drought-tolerant flowers that deserve your attention. You'll learn how to grow them, what to pay attention to when planting, how to care for them minimally, and how to get maximum blooms. If you're just starting out in floriculture, don't worry. These plants are so unpretentious that even a beginner can handle them. And if you're an experienced gardener, you'll certainly find some useful tips here that will help you diversify your garden. So, let's begin our journey into the world of drought-tolerant beauties. First flower, portulaca. Let's start with a plant that's often underestimated, though it deserves much more attention. This is portulaca, or moss rose, one of the most viable and beautiful succulents you'll encounter in gardening. Portulaca is an annual plant that grows in arid regions of South America. Its special feature is that it's a succulent, meaning its leaves can store water. Looking closely at it, you'll notice thick, fleshy leaves that look like little green coins. They're not tall, usually growing to 15 to 20 centimeters in height, and create a low, dense carpet that looks very decorative. The main star of portulaca is its flowers. They're double, like little roses, and come in many different colors: bright red, orange, yellow, pink, white, and even bicolor combinations. The flowers open in the morning hours and close in the evening or on cloudy days. In hot and dry conditions, portulaca blooms much more abundantly than in cool, wet summers. For this plant, heat and drought are not enemies but best friends. Growing portulaca is incredibly simple. You need a well-lit area. These flowers require at least 5 to 6 hours of direct sun per day. The soil should be light, well-draining, preferably with sand. Portulaca fears overwatering more than any other plant. If you have dense clay soil, mix it with sand or perlite to create the loose, airy texture portulaca loves. Watering is needed rarely. In hot periods, watering once a week or even less is enough. Let the soil dry out between waterings. If it rains, you can forget about watering altogether. The plant feels great on dry soil. Never water in the evening, as moisture combined with cool nights can encourage fungal diseases. Fertilizing portulaca is not necessary. On fertile soil, it blooms beautifully without any feeding. If you do decide to fertilize, use a diluted solution once a month. Too much fertilizer actually reduces flowering by promoting leaf growth instead. Pests rarely bother portulaca. Diseases are also rare thanks to the dry conditions where portulaca prefers to live. The main problem to watch for is root rot from overwatering. Portulaca looks especially striking in containers, hanging baskets, and rock gardens. You can create beautiful combinations of portulaca in different colors, or mix it with other succulents like sedum or sempervivum. Occasionally remove dead flowers to stimulate more blooming throughout the season. Portulaca can also self-seed, so you might get volunteer plants next year. Popular varieties include sundial with intensely double flowers in many colors, afternoon tea with pale pink blooms, and margarita with bright yellow flowers. These varieties are more double and rose-like than the older types, making them especially ornamental. Second flower, Echinacea. Let's move on to a plant considered one of the most versatile drought-tolerant flowers. This is Echinacea, or purple coneflower. Echinacea is a perennial plant reaching 50 to 90 centimeters in height, depending on the variety and growing conditions. Modern varieties come in white, pink, yellow, orange, and purple. The plant is named this way because in the center of each flower is a spiky orange or red cone-shaped center. Echinacea flowers are large, 7 to 10 centimeters in diameter, with long curved petals that spread open and bend slightly downward. This gives the flowers a very graceful and elegant appearance. The flowers are excellent for cutting and last a long time in a vase, sometimes 3 weeks or more. Echinacea blooms from mid-June and can flower until the first frosts. The special feature of Echinacea is that this plant has very deep roots that penetrate deep into the ground in search of moisture. Because of this, Echinacea can withstand long droughts. Its leaves and stems have a slightly firm texture, which helps the plant save water. Echinacea prefers full sun, though it can grow in partial shade. In shade, plants become taller and thinner with fewer flowers. The soil can be almost any type. The plant is undemanding about soil fertility. It grows well on loams, sandy loams, even on poor soil. The main thing is to ensure good drainage. Waterlogged soil in winter can kill Echinacea. Starting Echinacea from seed is straightforward. Plant seeds directly in the garden in spring or start them indoors in late winter. Seeds need light to germinate, so don't bury them. At around 20 degrees Celsius, they'll germinate in 7 to 10 days. In the first year, plants typically produce leaves and may not bloom. From the second year onward, you get full flowering for many years. Echinacea watering is minimal. After planting, young plants should be watered once a week for root establishment. Adult Echinacea can manage with rainfall and doesn't require additional watering even in dry summers. Echinacea practically doesn't require fertilizers. If you want more lush blooming, give one application of balanced fertilizer in early summer, but this is optional. Echinacea attracts bees and butterflies very well, making it excellent for pollinators. In late summer and fall, Echinacea seeds are liked by birds, especially goldfinches. Leave seed heads standing through winter to feed birds and for winter interest. Deadheading extends the blooming period, though Echinacea continues blooming without this. You can also divide plants every 4 to 5 years to rejuvenate them. In the garden, Echinacea looks excellent in mixed flower beds. It combines well with ornamental grasses, daylilies, sage, and other drought-tolerant plants. Plant it in groups of 3 to 5 for a more impressive effect. Popular varieties include purple, white swan, coconut lime, with coral flowers, and sunrise yellow. Third flower, Lavatera. Let's move on to the third plant, Lavatera or tree mallow. Lavatera is an annual or biennial plant 60 to 90 centimeters tall that originates from the Mediterranean region. It's a bushy plant with rounded light green leaves covered with light fuzz. The entire plant has a soft, velvety texture that's quite attractive. Lavatera flowers are large, 4 to 6 centimeters in diameter, funnel-shaped, resembling mallow flowers. The most common varieties have pink or white flowers, often with beautiful contrasting veins. The flowers are produced in abundance along the stem, creating a spectacular display of color. The flowering period can last from June to September, sometimes even into October. Lavatera prefers sunny places, though it can grow in partial shade. The soil should be well-draining and light. Lavatera doesn't tolerate heavy clay soils where water stagnates. If you have clay soil, add sand and compost to improve drainage. Sow seeds directly into the open garden after the danger of frost has passed. Lavatera seeds are large and relatively easy to handle. Sow them about 1 centimeter deep. Seedlings emerge within 1 to 2 weeks. Thin seedlings to 30 to 40 centimeters apart, as plants become quite wide. Once established, you can significantly reduce watering. Adult Lavatera can manage without supplemental watering. Pinching off growing tips when plants are 30 to 40 centimeters tall encourages a bushier form with more flowers. Feeding Lavitera once a month using balanced fertilizer is best, but not necessary. On fertile soil, Lavitera blooms beautifully without fertilization. Pests and diseases rarely bother Lavitera. Thanks to its drought tolerance and robust health, it usually doesn't require treatments. Lavitera looks superb in group plantings. It works well in mixed flower beds with other drought-tolerant plants. You can use Lavitera as a temporary screen to hide unsightly places thanks to its rapid growth and bushiness. It's excellent for creating cottage garden effects. Deadheading spent flowers encourages continued blooming. Even briefly removing tattered blooms weekly results in much more prolific flowering. Fourth flower, Heliopsis. Now let's consider a plant called autumn sunflower. This is Heliopsis, or Heliopsis helianthoides. Heliopsis is a perennial plant reaching 100 to 150 centimeters in height, depending on variety and growing conditions. Some compact varieties stay around 80 centimeters, while others exceed 160 centimeters. This plant is native to North America and is well adapted to hot, dry conditions. The name comes from Greek words meaning sun view, because the flowers truly look like little suns. The flowers are yellow, 5 to 8 centimeters in diameter, semi-double or double depending on variety. They resemble sunflowers but are much more delicate and decorative. The flowers sit on long sturdy stems and are excellent for cutting. They last in water for 2 weeks or longer. The flowering period lasts from July to October, sometimes into November. Heliopsis leaves are stiff, dark green, serrated at the edges. The plant looks healthy and robust, corresponding with its drought tolerance. Even when not blooming, it provides good structure. Heliopsis prefers full sun. Without it, the plant stretches and produces fewer flowers. The soil can be average and well-draining. Heliopsis doesn't require fertile soil and grows on poor soils, even sandy or rocky ground. On very rich soil, plants may grow excessively tall and might need staking. Growing Heliopsis from seeds is simple. Sow seeds in early spring directly in the garden, lightly pressing them into moist soil. Seedlings appear within 2 weeks. Young plants grow quickly, and you'll have flowering plants by midsummer. Watering during rooting should be regular, about once a week. However, adult plants manage without supplemental watering and tolerate drought very well. Even in the driest summers, Heliopsis blooms beautifully. Heliopsis doesn't require fertilizers. The plant is self-sufficient and blooms prolifically without feeding. Deadheading spent flowers extends blooming, though Heliopsis tends to bloom continuously. Simply remove spent flower clusters as they fade. Heliopsis is very long-lived and can grow in one place for many years. After 4 to 5 years, you can divide plants in spring to rejuvenate them. In the garden, Heliopsis looks good against blue and violet flowers like sage, speedwell, or phlox. It looks beautiful alongside white flowers, creating nice contrast. Popular varieties include Sunflower with fully double golden yellow flowers, Summer Sun with semi-double flowers, and Tuscan Sun with warm golden-orange double blooms. Fifth flower, Ageratum. We complete our 5 with a plant with delicate appearance and pleasant fragrance. Ageratum, or Ageratum houstonianum. Ageratum is a short annual plant, 15 to 45 centimeters in height, depending on variety. Dwarf varieties stay around 15 to 20 centimeters, perfect for edging, while taller varieties reach 40 to 45 centimeters for mixed borders. Native to Mexico, it's well adapted to hot climates. The name means not aging, indicating long, abundant flowering until first frosts. The most attractive feature is its flowers. They're small, about 1 centimeter in diameter, but gathered in dense clusters 5 to 7 centimeters wide. These clusters look like little pom-poms or fluffy balls. The most common color is blue or light violet, though white, pink, and bicolor varieties exist. The flowers have a light, pleasant fragrance that many find charming. Ageratum leaves are small, soft, dark green, creating a beautiful background. The plant bushes well, becoming dense and compact. This mounded form makes it useful for creating low color masses. Ageratum prefers sunny places, though it grows in partial shade. On sunny sites, plants become more compact and produce more flowers. The soil should be well-draining and light. Ageratum doesn't like heavy, waterlogged soils. Overwatering is the main problem. Growing ageratum starts from seed. You can sow directly in the garden after frost danger passes and soil warms, usually late spring. Alternatively, start indoors in March or April. Seeds are extremely small. Don't bury them, just press into soil. They need light to germinate. At 20 degrees Celsius, seedlings appear in 1 to 2 weeks. Seedlings grow slowly at first. Once they have several pairs of true leaves, prick them out into larger containers. Harden them off gradually before garden transplanting. Plant outdoors only after all frost danger passes. Watering during growth should be regular but moderate. Water once a week or more frequently if extremely hot, but ensure good drainage. Overwatering is the main enemy. Fertilize once every 2 weeks during active growth using balanced or flowering plant fertilizer. Don't overdo it. Ageratum doesn't need heavy feeding. Pinching growing tips when plants are 10 to 15 centimeters tall makes them bushier and more compact, encouraging branching and more flowers. Continue removing dead flowers or entire clusters. This stimulates new flower production and extends blooming. Ageratum is very versatile. Short varieties work great for borders, containers, and hanging baskets. Taller varieties suit mixed flower beds. Ageratum is excellent for cutting, lasting about a week in a vase. Pests and diseases rarely affect ageratum. The plant is naturally quite resistant. Popular varieties include Blue Danube with deep blue flowers, White Hawaii with white flowers, and Tall Purple with purple blooms. Brief summary. And so our journey through the world of drought-tolerant flowers comes to an end. All these plants share one important quality. They don't require constant attention and watering. They're economical, beautiful, and reliable. If your garden has a place suffering from heat and drought, these 5 plants are an excellent choice for solving the problem. Start with 1 or 2 plants, plant them in the problematic area, and watch how they grow. When you see how they thrive with minimal care, you'll want to add more. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.